Let's bring him on. Welcome to the PorterWay Podcast. My man, again, Teo, the Takeover, Lopez.
This party is about.
Yo, what up? You guys got me? Hold on, wait.
We kind of got you. You on the plane?
Is it better this way?
Yeah, that works.
This way?
That works.
I think are you in Mexico right now?
No. No, not at all. I'm actually in Miami right now.
Made your way back home?
What happened?
Made your way back home?
Got back here like 2 days ago.
Okay, I got you. Hey, listen, we were just talking about dads and how dads coach. What kind of coach would you say your dad is? Offensive coach, defensive coach, counter puncher? You know, like kind of what kind of coach do you think you came up under?
That's interesting. That's actually a very, very good question, especially from you, Sean, because your father too, Kenny, salute to your dad as well. He definitely paved the way for you. I would say, I actually want to hear your thoughts too on it. I would say my father is like a defensive catch and shoot type of coach.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah.
He's very strategic with it, and he definitely. I think because people lag a lot with the fact of not reacting quick enough when they catch a punch or they block a shot. And my father's very, very, his IQ on that is very high, especially when there's certain movements that you can block a punch that I didn't realize, even the ones with the forearm. I learned that with my father. So
okay.
I think that's a good thing about it. How about you? What can you say about your father? Like with Kenny, what type of coach was he to you?
I've described you as a counterpuncher by nature that can be offensive and be, kind of a striker when you need to be. And now hearing you say that your dad was more of a like catch and counter kind of guy, that all makes sense now. My dad has a very aggressive nature, and I think that that really just showed up in who I was in the boxing ring. We learned like really early on that you throw them punches in them bunches, and there's nothing you can do about it. So my dad was I would say an aggressive offensive coach.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's pretty interesting, right? Because like a lot of people sometimes may not give credit where credit's due, especially when it comes to father and son duos.
Yeah.
We may be naturally talented, but I think what gives us that gift is from our trainers. And we were blessed enough, you and I, as world champions and former champions, to actually be trained by our fathers. I think that's a blessing too. So
I tell you another one. A lot of guys work the rolling on the rope. You take the rope across the ring, and then you work the roll. My dad would make me do that as a kid and make me stay low to the point that I would cry because my thighs was hurting. I would cry because I was just tired of beating this with, just going. But my dad knew, like, you're going to need this in life, And so my dad broke a lot of barriers that I would have faced in life in the boxing ring, And then as I turned pro, that rolling action, that slip and slide, that get to you kind of style that I had ended up being the style that I used the most of any other style. So yeah, man, I think you and I both, we probably have faced a lot of trials, but the success that have come from those trials, we can't pay for it.
I definitely agree. I mean, you put a valid point there, especially when it comes to the fact of how much they I don't want to say overtrain, but how they work us.
Yeah.
As our fathers, they're so determined on, they may express that we are the best at what we do before we believe it, but that's the intent and the amount of work and hours they put onto it. I mean, that's a lot of people don't know. People are there when we win, but they're not there when we're doing the work.
Yep.
And even from that standpoint, especially for you, you also was doing football. And my thing is like, what's one style that you could say that you watch in boxing that you felt like you emulated a bit? Because we all grab bits and pieces of every world champion that paved the way for us.
Yeah. I think for me, I just tried to always be active. And that was something that I saw from Marvelous Marvin Hagler. He was always moving. He was always doing something. And we kind of feel like that's what separates me from the generation now. There's not a lot of fighters that are active practically every single second of every round. That's how I was.
Yeah, I can see it, especially with the jittery, the movements. I was watching a couple videos a couple days ago while I was in Mexico City, and I was seeing Marvin Hagler, and I can just notice sometimes he'll try to start off orthodox here and there. Surprisingly, try to psych the fighter out, and make him think twice. And I think that's a ballsy move at the same time from him. Because his natural stance is southpaw.
Yeah.
But then coming into the orthodox stance is like right in the opening bell, anything could go.
Right,
we're still cold, right?
Right.
And I noticed with Hagler though, he would do a lot of ticks, a lot of feints, even with his hands gestures.
Yep.
And now that you kind of you put that onto perspective, I'm like, I see that. I seen that with you.
Yeah.
It would either not be the hands or the feet. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And then there'll be like almost like a pounce or a pounce. What is it? Pounce?
A pounce
that you do onto the fighters. Yeah. And it will work.
Yeah.
It'll freaking work.
Yep.